Alright everybody, this is Mini Prepper again, and today we're going to do a review of this little guy. This is the Kizer, and I'm sure I'm going to screw the name up, begleiter. Definitely a nice knife here, but let's go over some stats and do a size comparison, and then we'll get on with the review. So the overall length is 8.125. Blade length is 3.5, and that is right up to here, not the actual cutting length. Blade thickness is 0.13. It's a drop point blade with a full flat grind. Handle length is 4.625. Handle thickness is 0.49. It is G10 handles on stainless steel liners. It's a VG10 blade. And let's check the weight. And it is 3.84. And as I said, let's do a couple size comparisons here. We have the steel wheel cut jack, the Ontario Rat 1, and the Spyderco Delica 4, and one more. This is the Sanranmu 7007, which I'm going to be doing a review on this pretty soon. I've been carrying this a lot at work. You can see on the blade there, this is actually getting some use. But let's get on with the Kizer knife. So far, I got to say, I haven't carried this a ton yet. But I do like this knife. Definitely carries nice in the pocket. Pretty small this way, as you can see. It's a bit smaller. If I can get this right. A bit smaller than the Ontario Rat. It's about, let's see. About the same thickness, but it definitely fits nice in the pocket because it isn't too tall this way. So I definitely like the way it sits in the pocket. Not a ton of a cant on the pocket clip, but it is a little bit. But you also don't have a pocket pecker up here to worry about or anything. So that makes it kind of nice. Now, when I got this knife, which, by the way, I got this knife on an app called Vipon, V-I-P-O-N. And at the time, this knife was 50% off. So it was $26, and then it was about $5 shipping. So I paid like 31 bucks for this knife, which, definitely a pretty good deal. They're already pretty good price at, generally $52, but getting it at 31, even better. So, but as I was saying, this carries well in the pocket. It's not too tall. Definitely can get to the block nice and easy with this pass through right there. Now there's no jimping on the liner lock or on the top of the blade, but it's okay because it definitely it holds in your hand really very nice. So again, with this G10 that's on here, it's definitely very grippy, and I don't think that's gonna really come through great on the video, but Yeah, you can definitely hear, you know, that's definitely a grippy handle. I like the blue that they've got around the pivot here. Oh, I know what I was talking about, that I had to take this knife apart when I got it. And the reason being was right there. Now it looks like it's got the nylon or Teflon washers, whatever, the white washers. But really that's not what it is. And maybe you should be able to kind of see. It's got the brass washers in there. But on both sides, really what you got is the liner, the brass washer, and then that nylon, whatever, the plastic, and it's very, very thin. I wouldn't even consider it a washer. It's really just, it covers over the washer and is in between that and the blade, and it's on both sides, even though you can't quite see it on this side, but it's on both sides. And I think it's there because of the coating on the blade. It's supposed to be like a titanium coating on here. If it is, I mean, I couldn't say that for certain, but that's what they say on the website, that it's a titanium coating. So it's not just spray paint on there. Some people think that that's what it is, but it's supposed to be a titanium coating. So, but I think that's why they have that there. Not entirely sure though. I mean, why 100% it's there. If it's because of that coating, maybe if there's some issue with the way the washers maybe wear on it or something, not real sure. But the action right at first wasn't that great, but now it's pretty good. It comes out of there just fine. The lanyard slot, can't even really call it a lanyard hole. It's kind of a lanyard slot. It's definitely a good size, for people that like the putting lanyards on their knives. This is a good one for you. You can definitely fit whatever you want in there. Now, you also see here, looks like it's missing a screw, but that's the way it comes. It's so that then you could switch the pocket clip over, and you have that screw there for the back spacer. Now, I really do wish they would have put an extra screw in there, just so it didn't look like it was missing a screw. And you do have the two standoffs back here. And let's look at the liner, and you can see that it is skeletonized. Help bring the weight down a little bit. Yeah, and it actually feels lighter than 3.8 ounces. It doesn't quite feel that heavy. Which at 3.8 ounces isn't heavy, but it doesn't even feel like it's that. I mean, it feels under 3 ounces. So that's kind of nice. That also helps, in the pocket. You really kind of don't feel this in your pocket. At least I didn't. Thumb studs. I like thumb studs. They don't bother my thumb if I sit there and kind of fidget with the knife. So that's a good thing. Although the lock bar, I kind of wish that they would have grooved this a little bit. It would have felt a little better on a thumb. It's not that it's horrible or anything like that, but I think it just would have felt just a little bit nicer. Let's see, blade centering. That's pretty much perfect. Pocket clip, very functional. Works very good. Comes in and out of the pocket, no problem. Even with how rough this is, it comes in and out of the pocket just fine. The way that's designed works really well. And it is Torx construction. So, and I cannot remember, but I don't think that this is free spinning. If I remember right, it was D-shaped. So that way, you can unscrew this and this isn't going to spin at you. But don't hold me to that. I can't 100% remember. Now, even though I like this knife, it's got a lot of good things going for it. The biggest problem I see with this knife is the thickness of the blade. Now, while 0.13 is not really that thick, okay, it's not horrible. The problem is the height of the blade. Okay, the thicker the blade gets, the taller the blade needs to be. And this is kind of, this isn't that tall. If you compare it to the steel wheel. Let's see if I can get this in the camera good. That doesn't, hold on. That doesn't seem like a lot. Oh, if I can get it right. But that makes a difference. The shorter the blade is, the thinner it needs to be. When you've got like the Delica, that blade becomes much thinner. I believe it's thinner than the Delica. I believe it's thinner than the Delica, even at its thickest point. Yeah. This is actually a bit closer to the rat knife in thickness. But, it's definitely not as tall as the rat knife is. So really that's the only knock that I can give this knife, is just the thickness of the blade as opposed to the height of the blade. Again, the shorter it is, the thinner it needs to be. But other than that, I got to say this is definitely a good knife, and if you can get it at, the price I got it at, that's definitely 100% worth it. But even at the $52, this is definitely worth it. So, all right, this is the Kizer begleiter, if I'm saying that right again. And if you like the review, hit like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next review.